Hey, it's your Crazy Old Coot here. Good morning. I was gonna wait to do this video until I get a nice stand for my new iPhone 6, so I could, put it on a tripod and do this kind of clean. But I can't because my computer's starting to act up, and my main belief is it's because of dust. And I just took the cover off and looked into it, and yeah, it's full of dust. And it's been, probably a year since I cleaned the dust out of my computer. Bad me, but in case you didn't notice, my voice has changed a little bit because I had a bout of throat cancer. And I'm all better now, but we got to clean this computer up. So I was going to give you a step-by-step on how to clean your computer up, because your number one enemy of any electronics is heat. The hotter they are, the quicker they break down. And the number one contributor to heat is dust, because it insulates the electronics. It forms a little insulation cover, and it increases the heat. So you got to get the dust out. And the other issue is, and it's one of the reasons I probably got away with a year, is never put your desktop on the floor, because for every foot you get your unit off the floor, you cut your dust intake by half. So I leave my desktop on my desktop. That way it minimizes dust. Okay, so let's take a peek inside this box and see how bad it is. So let's take a little quick stand. You can see the dust here a little bit on the cables and stuff, a little bit down on the bottom here. There. The memory chips look okay, but when we get up to the video card, oh my god, it looks bad. And up there with my AC wireless adapter, it's got some dust too. And I've got some on my power supply. So yeah, we got some of the power supply too. Okay, so you take a quick peek around and check where your dust is. And that's my CP cooler, which is freaking huge nowadays. And we got some dust in there. So that's an overview where we got to clean. And we'll now go about talking about how the best way to clean things. Now, the two things you're going to need to clean out your computer, the dust out of it, is some canned air. Any of it will work. Whatever's cheapest. And a dust buster, whichever you got around. Obviously, recommend nothing metal. All plastic will do. Now, like I said about static before, in case you didn't watch it, is you gotta keep the power cord plugged into your power supply as long as your power supply has an off switch on it, and you shut off your power supply off switch. If your power supply does not have an off switch, then you gotta unplug it and be safe. Okay? But we want to keep the ground is what we want to do, so we don't build up any static charge. Okay, so you need those two things, and now we'll go into the nitty-gritty on how to do it. Okay, so one of the things I always do is I always start at the top and work my way down. Okay, so what we want to do is use the dust buster to catch the dust. You don't really need to put it on the parts. You don't want to do that. So we want to blow this up. And you really don't want it. the liquid coming out. So if it starts doing that, you just need to let it settle down for a little bit. So let's spin these up a little bit. That looks a lot better. So that's the video card. And I spun the fans on the video card, and I spun the fan in here to blow some out. Power supplies are a little bit hard. Sometimes if you're sure your power supply is overheating, you're gonna have to take the cover off. And unless you know what you're doing, I wouldn't advise that. But they should last for a long time. Just by blowing out, getting most of it, the dust out, is gonna help you. Okay. So we got the video card, this card, and this card done. And we want to dust off the main card a little bit, especially the heat sinks on there. Oh wow, look at all that here. Dusting out the fins of the CPU cooler. Need to get rid of the general dust that's on like the bottom of the case and stuff, just because it's there. Looking pretty good. The cables, dust off the cables a little bit. The hard drives are usually pretty sealed units, so you probably don't have to worry about them too much. Just give them a general spray down. And again, there's a lot of general dust here. So that's it. So basically, you start at the top, work your way down. Start with your power supply, blow it in where the fan is. It should shoot out the back here. Get most of the dust out of there as best as you can. Then start up any top cards. Like here's my AC wireless adapter, my video card, and then the main card. You want to make sure you get all the dust out of the heat sinks. And the quick blow dust off your memory modules and your CPU cooler, and then clean up your additional dust that's on the bottom here and any other little places where it might hide, and then blow off your hard drives, and again clean up any residue dust. So that looks pretty good now. Let's get a closer look. Okay. Now you're not gonna get all the dust off. This is just a general cleaning. Uh, and it's kind of all that I kind of recommend for most people, because unless you really know what you're doing and you're going to pull things off and blow them off really good, each individual piece by itself, um, you really need to know what you're doing, because you got to put them back. And where, some people, like, if you built your own computers and you know how to do it, that's fine. But for most people, you don't. But I recommend that you always dust these off, and at least every 3 months you should at least check for dust. Okay, so that's basically how you clean up the dust out of your computer. And like I said, you should do it. Check for dust every 3 months. Do a quick blow off. It will increase the life of your computer tremendously. And so this is your Crazy Old Coot saying, have a good evening. Bye.